call the member for Baulkham Hills.
Thank you. A wise choice. It's not the years, it's the mileage. Madam Acting Speaker, I rise to bring the attention of the House to a matter that is currently the subject of much public debate across the northern part of my electorate of Baulkham Hills. As members who are familiar with the Hills District will already know, there is a major and controversial potential development proposed for the intersection of Samantha Riley Drive and Old Windsor Road in Baulkham Hills, or indeed Kellyville. In many ways, to describe this development as controversial is a bit of an understatement. When it first came to the public's attention, the proposal was for a 25-storey apartment block that I believed was completely out of character with the local area. Members should keep in mind that this is part of Sydney that remains somewhat semi-rural. Indeed, it is the fringe of Sydney. The public response was understandably quite negative, to put it politely. Thankfully, such an over-the-top development is now off the table, although other less extreme but still inappropriate proposals are currently under consideration, including an 18-storey residential tower. Let me make my position crystal clear for the benefit of my constituents. I am strongly opposed to any development on Samantha Riley Drive that is anywhere near as big as those that are currently being examined. It is completely inappropriate for a development of such a scale to go ahead in this part of the hills. I'm on the record as saying this when the matter first appeared in the public domain in 2011, and my steadfast position has not changed. This being said, I am not in general anti-development. If anything, the opposite is true. In particular, I've been one of the North West Business Park's staunchest advocates and spent much of my pre-parliamentary life in the construction industry. We in the Hills have always understood that one of the conditions of the North West Rail Link would be higher residential densities around our new train stations, and rightly so. This is simply a matter of responsible policy and something that I believe is widely accepted across the Hills. However, such an increase in residential densities needs to fit in seamlessly and with the current character of the Hills Shire. To do otherwise would be to sacrifice the unique features that make the Hills such an appealing and popular place to live and work. The developments currently being discussed in the media and in the community across the Hills do not meet this test. Further, we must come to terms with the lessons of the late 80s and early 90s regarding the relationship and the interdependence between infrastructure and residential developments. We simply cannot afford to make those mistakes again. It is wrong to allow large residential developments to go ahead before the appropriate transport infrastructure and public amenity is in place. Such developments should not be seriously contemplated until the North West Rail Link is in place, or indeed at least near completion. To do otherwise would place too great a strain on local roads, transport and public parks. I would like to encourage the efforts of the Mayor of the Hills, Her Worship Councillor Dr Michelle Byrne, in regard to this issue. Residents of the Hills should rest assured that in Councillor Byrne they have a fierce and loyal public servant. Finally, I repeat that my position is actually one of pro-development. However, I believe that such developments must be in the best interest of residents. I would welcome a revised development proposal below 15 storeys under certain conditions, and not until pressure on local public and motoring transport is addressed. Thank you.